Hey guys, welcome back to my Return to Jurassic Park Comics series. This episode we're going to be going over issues 7 of 9. Now we last left off with Derrick and Abby narrowly escaping an encounter with the crazed scientist Dr.Gustavus. We left the island by chopper during a horrible storm that hit Isla Nublar during the events of the first film. Now we return to the island, during the events of the Jurassic Park Raptor storyline. While flying over the island, we get introduced to two new soldiers accompanying Abby and Derrick. These two make light jokes about the stupidity and inferior survival skills of these ancient beasts, which leads to disagreement and constant moans from Abby. They're heading back here to clean up the mess left in the wake of Dennis Nedry's betrayal, and think the world of this incredible place that was once called Jurassic Park. Once they land on the island, our pair of scientists meet up with General West. Those who've been watching my Jurassic Park Comics reviews for a while should remember that this is the man in charge of putting the dinosaurs back under control on the island. Both parties seem to get off on a rocky start, with the military and scientific careers of each group coming at odds with one another, but nevertheless, work must be done. The two begin their work by herding up a few Ouranosaurs. While doing this, Derrick lets Abby know that her constant bickering should be toned down a bit on this adventure, in fear of it getting them into hot water again. But his partner doesn't seem to listen, and instead gives her full attention to something she sees through a set of binoculars. Apparently, the two soldiers that rode with them to the island are getting a great start to the day by taking a ton of pictures of the dinosaurs. This confuses Derrick, who lets it known that if they get caught doing such a thing after signing the same no photos agreement that everyone else must adhere to, that could mean buying themselves a one-way ticket off of the island. This bit of information gives Abby a really fun idea. Elsewhere on Nublar, a Triceratops is on the move and makes a full-on charge for an army jeep. General West and a fellow soldier fall out of the vehicle and ready themselves for a follow-up attack. West orders his man to trank the trike, but the soldier remains motionless, paralyzed with fear. With the dinosaur charging closer and closer, West grabs hold of the gun from his man and fires a dart into the beast at the last second. Angered at his team and confused by the situation, the general wants answers as to what exactly made the docile herbivore attack them out of nowhere. Another soldier fills West in on an unfortunate event that seems to have passed. It would appear that the jeep that they were traveling in ran over the nest the Triceratops' offspring were in, leaving the mother with dead infants in her roost. Understanding what's actually happened leaves West with a deeply sympathetic view on the situation, and puts him in a bad mood, cursing on his trek out of the area. Once away from this site, the general's met with Abby and Derrick, who've stopped by to give the man some information he should know about. Abby fills West in on a major security breach that Nublar is dealing with, one that has to do with unsolicited pictures from his own men. In West's office, both men can't believe such accusations are being made against them. While putting their case before the general, the two suggest that this whole ordeal may have started when Abby made a pass to one of them that was quickly deflected. This gets the one-eyed rise out of the scientist, but also leads to a full-on inspection of every bit of clothing in effect from the two men. After a full search has been conducted, no camera or evidence of film can be found amongst any of their equipment. After that, one of the soldiers suggests that Abby herself may have been acting suspiciously earlier. West decides to search her quarters as well. Unfortunately for her, a camera and film are found in her lodgings, and such a discovery can only lead to one thing, which is total banishment from the project and island. Abby makes a loud uproar for the camera being obviously planted in her room, and Derrick even speaks up for the girl to back up these arguments, but is quickly shut up once the general asks a man if he'd like to join Abby in being escorted off of Nublar. Needless to say, this does not impress the girl. Boarding the chopper now for her trip home, Abby is greeted with the two soldiers she just ratted out. These two men express great joy in the irony of such an ordeal. Knowing that the two would never leave their real photos and camera in her room, Abby decides to search the chopper for anything that wouldn't look suspicious. The mailbag is the first thing that catches her eye, and in a quick test of her theory, she throws it out of the chopper, which leads to her escorts becoming absolutely agitated. They turn back and put the chopper down on a rough patch of the island. Carefully carrying trank darts, the three walk out and into the open in search of the mailbag that holds their photographs. And in an instant, Abby attacks both soldiers and runs back to her lodging. One of the soldiers attempts to stop the girl by firing a trank dart at her, but fortunately misses. Feeling lonely and worthless, Derrick spends the rest of his day thinking about what just happened, until he gets a knock on his door accompanied with an all too familiar voice. Once the door is opened, Abby takes hold of Derrick's arm and pulls him out of his room and into a wild chase. She lets him know that this is his chance to redeem himself, and that together, they're going to prove her innocence. The immediate jump in time from the events of the first movie to the beginning of the Raptor storyline I reviewed earlier really took me by surprise when I first started this issue, until I remembered that the stories featuring Betty, Celia, and Alf started just 3 days after the dinosaurs broke out in the first place. I will say that I was at first under the impression that the Derrick and Abby storylines were unconnected with the other canon that Topps had created, and thought that these last few issues of the Return series could be standalone and unrelated. Honestly, I'm quite happy that they're not, because this gives us a chance to revisit some of the characters and events of previous issues. In all of the different canons of Jurassic Park, the Topps comic universe seems to really be something unique, and quite honestly bold. Even if this issue was kind of uneventful, I really do enjoy the overall direction that they've taken the books in. This is a continuity that seems pretty fun and very different to what we would get in the films and novels. Now, with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate the like and hope you consider subscribing so that you can see me again. I'll see you on the next video, guys. And as always, take it easy.